Recurring billing is the configuration that pays the highest dividend over time in this module. Set it up once, then payments arrive on schedule for years without you sending an invoice or chasing a reminder. The setup itself takes a single afternoon. The part most coaches underconfigure is what happens when a payment fails, and that underconfiguration shows up the first time a retainer client's card declines at 2 on a Sunday morning. Setup is short and the payoff is long. 30 minutes of configuration work removes years of monthly invoice sending out of your operating life. The variables themselves are simple. The discipline is doing it before you need it. Failed payment handling is where almost every coach I have worked with cuts corners. They configure the happy path. The first charge succeeds, the second charge succeeds, and the dunning logic that triggers on the first decline sits unconfigured for 18 months until it suddenly matters. Build the whole sequence in the same afternoon, including the parts that only fire when something goes wrong. Subscription product setup is a small set of variables that determine everything downstream. Billing interval, monthly or quarterly, is the coaching norm. Billing date, calendar date like the first of the month, or relative to sign-up, meaning every 30 days from the start. Payment method, card only, ACH only, or card and ACH, giving the client the choice. Trial period, configure it if you offer one, leave it off if you do not. Chart of accounts label is the variable that routes revenue to the right category in your books from Module 7.2, which means reconciliation works automatically instead of every transaction needing manual coding. Failed payment is a sequence, not an event. Processors run a built-in retry schedule when a card declines. Stripe defaults to retrying 3 days after the first decline, then 5 days, then 7. 3 attempts spread over 15 days before the subscription cancels. Client notifications are configurable separately from the retry schedule. The default in most processors is email on every event, which can feel aggressive to a long-standing client who is having a temporary bank issue. Match the notification style to your client relationship style. First decline only and final cancellation for high-trust retainer clients, more frequent for shorter or transactional engagements. 2 dunning emails get written before the first failed payment, not the night it happens. First template is the card decline notice, written in no-blame language with a single click-through link to update the payment method on file. Short, warm, signed by you takes maybe 4 sentences. Second template is the subscription pause notice that fires after the final retry fails. Explicit pause status, what is required to resume single reactivation link. Both templates live in your processor's email config, or in a drafts folder you can paste from in 30 seconds. The second email is the one you write badly under pressure if you wait. Write it on the same Tuesday afternoon as the first. Cancel and refund flow is where the processor default fights with your policy. Client cancels mid-period. What happens? End of current period with no refund owed, because they paid through the cycle and used most of it, or immediate cancellation with a partial refund question that requires a human judgment call. Your Unit 8.6 cancellation policy governs this answer for your coaching engagements, and the billing product setting needs to match that policy. Most processors default to immediate cancellation, which puts you in the refund conversation every time. Set the subscription product to end-of-period cancellation if that is what your policy says. Do not let the processor default override the agreement you signed with the client. International recurring brings 2 constraints the domestic case does not have. Decline rates on international cards run higher than US cards. Bank-side fraud screening on cross-border subscriptions catches a meaningful fraction of legitimate charges, and you will see retry attempts you do not see on US clients. ACH bank transfer billing is not available outside the US, so card on file is your only realistic option for European or UK retainer clients. Multi-currency recurring works in Stripe. Bill in USD to a EUR card. The client's bank does the FX conversion at their rate, which usually costs them 2 to 3%. Bill in EUR directly, and you absorb the conversion at processor rates. Unit 8.7 picks up the full FX layer. Bill the subscription product today even without a retainer client signed yet. Monthly interval, the first of the month billing date, card on file payment method, no trial period, labeled retainer revenue in the chart of accounts. Write both dunning emails into the templates folder. Set the cancel and refund behavior to whatever your Unit 8.6 policy will say. When the first retainer engagement starts in 3 weeks or 3 months, you are attaching a customer to an existing product instead of building the product itself under deadline pressure. The configuration work done cold runs cleaner than the same configuration done the night before the first charge.